Oh, 20. Uh-oh. Let me grab my.
Thanks for live. Intro video. It may get us here in a minute. We're live, guys.
Hello, gents.
Where it tries to play my intro and my internet's not synced up. We are live. Who all is in the chat? Let's greet everybody real quick before I introduce our panelists. Levi was the first one here. Look at the homework he's doing. He said, that's got to be the picture from Joe's and my race in 25. Probably is. We can't see your car in it. Lars was here, unfinished project, calling Tebow, got a full cadre of mods swinging the wrenches. Dean Stevenson, Bruce Colgin is here. We've got Wendy English, Danny Boyd Thumper is here. He said he's changed the ring gear on the flywheel in the GTO. Cop Car Steve, greetings from the Great White North, but next Friday he'll be in Central Washington. Well, take your passport, man. My Aunt Nancy says, good evening, Junkyard D, Mohawk 62, Lone Wrench Garage Mike. Ryan Barsness says, hey, everyone. Jeff Davis. Just Mopar Joe was here early. Big Mike of the Hoopty Barn Pure Pontiac Garage. Hot Rod Guy Garage Russell. 26 days and a handful of hours. Actually, it's 26 days, 3 hours, 55 minutes to be exact. Cave Dave, the Mid-South Low Baller, Manic Mechanic. We've got Levi here. He says, because he left the purple car in the dust. No, Levi, you don't know how that works. The cars go forward. That's why the picture's like that. Indecisive Garage, another week, and I don't feel any closer to being done. That's why the orange paper's here. And Slant Day the Garage says, what's up, suckers? Well, hello, everyone. Tonight, we have our bracket champions. Little Possum may be joining us too, but we have the 2022 and 2025 No Name Champion bracket, Friday bracket champion, just Mopar Joe, and 2023 T's Good Time Garage. 2024 Possum may be joining us soon, but right now you've got them cornered. This is your time to ask all things bracket questions about any of the years they've participated or any other general stuff. And you guys know it's rare to get Joe on, so let's make the most of it. We got an evening with the bracket champs. And no, that is not the song I hate, Slant Daily Garage. I'm still trying to guess that one. That is not it. He sent me a voice text asking me that this morning. Gentlemen, how are you?
I heard the Scatman song the other day, and I thought maybe that was it, but
that would not be it. So how is everybody, and what have you guys been doing in preparation to claim the bracket title for 2026?
I think T's been busier than I have, for sure.
Well, yeah, we spent a little time in Grand Junction on Saturday. Getting a little bit of seat time and, feeling it out. But a little bit of altitude difference between Grand Junction and Sykeston. So we've got some tune-up stuff still to worry about.
What is the altitude there?
It's a little over 4,000. The DA was terrible, though. We were racing an 8,000 feet DA.
Wow.
That's a Highlander problem there for sure.
Yeah, Joe's on the opposite end.
Right.
What is your altitude, Joe, where you are?
I think like 220.
Yeah.
Like that.
And would one of our mods please post the link to T's Good Time Garage? I saw the thumbnail where he had the duster out in testing, so that'd be pretty cool. And Joe has a video out putting in the CRT SFI case. So those two links would be handy.
It's been a fight all week long. I've got my car on the trailer right now to finally go race tomorrow. And it was one of those deals where you're promised 2 time trials and then it's race time. So you don't get to play around with anything. I'm just going to take my best guess and try it for the first time. So
that's also my life. 2 time runs and that's it.
You just might as well go for it, man. The weather's going to be nice.
Since you guys said that, that's an interesting point. It's one thing I think a lot of people don't think about with No Name Nationals. You get a lot of runs if you want.
Yeah.
You can get a bunch of testing tune in.
Yeah, planning on it.
Right. I went ahead and swapped back to my old carburetor that I knew would be, spot on like last year's bracket deal. And that's easier to start with at least. So.
Excellent.
Yeah, I changed the carb too. I was completely sick of that Dominator. I still have it, but it's some other problem for another life, I think. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we're in a better place with that. But same engine's coming to Sykeston, just different car.
I was wondering that. I knew you've been trying to load a gun for me all year long.
Yeah, we had some issues with the 500. It had to come out and still needs to come apart, but I haven't got there yet. The garage is too messy for a teardown.
Right.
I know that feeling. I got a 727 apart on the bench right now, and it's amazing how much room stuff takes up when it's apart. You have to have a whole bay apart to have an engine apart, I think. I'm not organized like you guys.
No, you wouldn't say that if you saw the garage today, that's for sure. It's pretty bad.
Levi says, I can't afford the big block it would take to replace my LS.
Well, that's okay. You need 2 or 3 LSs to get through the one big block. So,
yeah, we haven't seen Joe's in pieces in the carport. So, I mean, he says we're talking a $10,000 to $12,000 big block minimum.
That's a very inexpensive Mopar big block for sure. If you just want to compare, I mean, spend all that money on that.
Go ahead.
Say he spent all his money on his Chinese choo-choo that he can't afford a big engine. So, or the Taiwan Twister,
the Wuhan war whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Colleen, that will be the link for Joe putting in the SFI case from CRT. Joe has the first one of those ever in this country, ever.
Pretty cool.
It's a tank. It is a tank. I wish I had a tube chassis car. I could just have lifted it straight up in and everything was wonderful around there, but she's in there now.
Well, I've seen people take the floors out and they'll put little small pieces of tubing to their cross members so they can just lift the transmission in and out of the car from the inside. I see that with guys that run manual transmissions a lot, actually. It's a pretty slick setup.
Yeah. I debated on drilling some 1-inch holes behind those bell housing bolts so I could just pop some plugs in to get, zip them in and out. But no, I forget, and then time goes by, and I'm trying to do this with a little wrench for 30 minutes.
In the 90s, I saw a guy at an NMCA race that had a 3rd-gen Camaro, and he ran in the hot streak class, which was, 4 speeds and 5 speeds, 385-inch engines and small tires before that was a thing. And this guy had it set up. He had some Zeus fasteners. He could lift off his transmission tunnel and then just hit the bolts on the transmission, grab a tail shaft, just slide it back. It was on rails that were built into the chassis. One hand, just slide the transmission back a foot, service the clutch, slide it back, and it lined right up. No lifting it up and in and out or anything. I thought, man, that's a slick setup.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Stock floors and tunnels, am I right?
Well, he didn't. We got a knock at the door.
Hey!
This way. There you go.
Little possum.
We're out
is
here
he
with
on
all
a
the
golf?
kids at Skelton Raceway.
There you go, a golf cart at the
Oh
racetrack.
man, on
Howdy.
site.
Good Friday night.
We have every Friday bracket winner represented now.
We are in here. I'm sorry I'm late for the show.
Well, glad you're here. Glad you're here. Just drop in anytime. I appreciate you guys being here. This is your chance to tell people what it is you're planning to do for this year, how you plan to win the Friday bracket, as much as you want to say with your competitors right here in the house.
My biggest thing is you got to be green. You know, you got to be green.
That's right.
You can't hold 10 numbers like Mopar Joe.
No, Green, you're the youngest one here, aren't you?
28.
That's my
28.
fault.
Okay. Oh yeah.
She's 3 months.
I won't race her anytime soon. I'll get beat. I promise.
Yeah.
Oh man. But,
Yes, sir.
well,
Yeah.
Well,
you guys excited?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I am.
That's right.
I try to make it a point to watch from the top end at the finals of the Friday bracket. And so 2 different times, actually every year I shake the hand of the winner, and 2 times it's been Mopar Joe. So
Yeah.
Is he going to have a 3rd championship, or is somebody? What are you guys going to get a 2nd?
Man, I don't want to talk no crap. It might bite me in the butt.
That's how I feel.
Can
But I will say, I'm hoping for another one of these.
Hey, I will say I've ran one and I won one.
That's a good percentage.
It is.
It's like 100% odds right now.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Hey man, I haven't been able to keep a car running all year, so that's my biggest enemy. So I've done enough bracket racing this year. I went through 3 motors and 4 transmissions.
Well, if you need a little help on Saturday, happy to jump in there.
I'll jump in here if you jump in mine. I think if one of us 3 get in the finals, we should make a deal that we swap cars for the final pairing.
Ooh.
That could be interesting.
Be fun.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a whole lot more seat time in mine than me, so.
Oh man, no, I think it's gonna be a really cool year this year. I'm really excited about it. It's always one of our favorite races of the year because it's so easy going. Everybody's there to have a good time. We're not all there racing for money. It's just relaxing. I'm very excited for it. So maybe I'll be able to go eat Lambert's with you guys this year.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah, get back.
Can I put the money pressure on him, John?
Absolutely. You can. This is your chance, Joe. Anything you want to say?
Okay, so my brother and sister-in-law, who come every year, they own a pediatric dentistry practice in Batesville, Arkansas. So her practice, I believe, is putting 1,500 first place on the bracket this year to add to the pot.
Serious.
And then, whatever reason, she also wanted to bet 1,000 against whoever won the bracket to race me after the bracket. And I thought, well, I'll show up and race because if I don't win the bracket, maybe I could win 1,000. I don't know. So,
wow.
But that,
That's pretty crazy.
That may be more than they're paying out this weekend. I don't know.
That's stout. That's
Good money.
This has stayed in my studio for all these years, and Cope is the one that started this bounty stuff on Joe, but it's got a life of its own now. Joe has more real estate in my studio than anyone. He has this and this. That's my favorite JMJ quote. Excuses are the tools of incompetence.
Well, Cope's got a magic check ball in my new trans brake transmission, so he can click a button anytime he wants to make me red light. So it'll be his fault if I do.
That's what he says.
That off.
Well, Cope is getting excited about coming. He's been sending me a bunch of pictures and stuff he's getting ready to do. We got and we got some pretty interesting hardware that looks like it might be showing up there too. So we got a lot of excitement, a lot of stuff coming together in this last month that looks like it's pretty fun.
Oh yeah,
Good stuff. Looking forward to seeing everybody.
it's gonna be a good one. You're live on YouTube with No Name Nationals.
Hey, while
Dad
we
don't
have,
do no live feeds.
Hey, while we have Awesome the second there, tell us anything that's going on at the track that might be different from last year. Any kind of things you guys have done, or anything you've got running right now? Since our folks are rolling here in 3 weeks.
It's coming quick, ain't it?
It
Man,
is.
I wasn't ready for that question. I don't know. We're ready to drop. Are we? I haven't heard yet for sure on that.
He says he's ready for us, and I have no doubt. But I mean, we had talked about where they graded all that, and the grass was gone. Boy, that stirred people like you wouldn't believe with speculation. He says that's all green over and good camping and everything again.
Oh yeah. The grass. We've been really on that for sure. So we'll have good camping area. We got the game room AC now. I don't know if it was last year or not, if we caught that in time. Did we catch that for you guys? So if you get hot this year, you can go check the game room out.
Nice.
It's got pool tables in it and some arcade games and stuff like that. I did get a big blow-up deal we're going to set up so we can watch a movie maybe every night or something like that for the campers. You know?
Sure.
Still trying to work on that thing at the end, though. I'm still trying to figure that out if we're going to get that done in time.
Okay. Well, let us know. By the way, I'm going to have the Burnout Champions on September 11th, 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to give you some big news for that when you do that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good. Everybody's safe. I don't have any Crown Vics this year.
I love it.
That was some of the most fun I've ever had.
We have a good question here from one of our regulars, Andrew Nelson. Lifetime, how many bracket races have you guys won? So we'll go around starting with Little Possum. How many bracket races have you won in your young career, sir?
Are we talking all the way to juniors, or are we talking?
Sure. It's bracket races. It all should count.
I would say from age 6 to 14 in juniors, I probably have over 150 just in that. Wow. Yeah, I have over 100 trophies in juniors.
Wow.
Door cars, I feel I could probably, narrow down final appearances more than wins, but sorry. I would say probably 4 to 5 a year in that range.
Okay.
So I was in
wow.
Last weekend we raced Friday and Saturday, and I was in 3 finals. But didn't seal the deal in either one of them.
You never know what's going to happen in a bracket race, for sure.
It's always something. But I did take a 15-passenger van in the ET class all the way to the finals running 630 cars.
I love it.
And I was dialed 1390s.
Nice.
It was a good time. It was a good time. But
real quick for Cop Car Steve, decent hotels. The Drury is decent. It's also spendy, as is the Pear Tree beside it. If you're traveling with a dog, the best budget option is the Best Western there. And there's also camping on site. It's great.
That is correct. The Pear Tree was our nicest hotel, and they tore it down 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, so we do got the comfort in.
Super 8 is not recommended.
No, do not go Super 8 or Motel 60. Don't. The bugs will carry you away.
The camping is where it's at. It's what most people do.
All you'll have there is mosquitoes and grasshoppers.
We're going to have a logistics live the Friday before the No Name Nationals, whatever that Friday is. I don't know off the top of my head what the date is, but whatever that Friday is, we do the logistics live where we talk about all of these things. We talk about, the flow, the itinerary of the event. We'll put that up ahead of time. It'll be substantially similar to years past, but we'll do that then, okay? But tonight we're going to talk bracket racing, and the Friday bracket is not the only bracket we have by any means. We have a 6-cylinder bracket, the monkey bikes. We've got a first-timer bracket that we run on the Saturday. There are other brackets, and people have bracket matches as well. Joe has the most prolific bracket matches of anyone, but the Friday bracket is our main event bracket.
I got to get T in one this year. If we don't get the race, we need to have a good old bracket race at some point. But
Absolutely,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Saturday's always an option.
I'll bracket race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if y'all want. It's up to y'all.
Oh yeah, there goes John.
Well, Mopar Joe, how many have you won?
Oh man.
This guy's about to say 400.
I'm here.
Oh, there, but wait,
That
there's
was
more.
wild.
There's another person coming. It looks like.
No, that's just me, but
Okay.
Uh-oh.
it's like it's trying to add me twice. That was wild. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I would have to guess, man. Like it's funny you mentioned juniors. Like I started my bracket career. I was like 17. My dad and I and brother, we bought a 70 Duster, and the first pass I ever made down a track was like a 711. Like never drove a bracket car in my life, and it was a big block.
Dang.
440 iron heads. You know, and just getting in the groove of that because it felt really spooky, like 32-inch slicks that were on a like 10-inch wide wheel, so they had way too much slick for the wheel, and they were aired down to like 7 pounds. So when you're driving, it feels like a roller coaster of all that stuff. It was fun, like once you get the shapes out, you're like, I want to do this every weekend. So starting there. And then slowly I got my old 70 Cuda built. We would just like tag team every other weekend and try to win something. So say from 2008 to 15, maybe I won I wouldn't say 100 races, like 100 matches maybe, but not 100 races. Say 10 or 15 there, so if I won 100 in my life, I would be thrilled to brag about that. Most of my deals didn't have big checks or trophies. It's normally like, here's your $220 and hope to see you next week. That sort of deal. It's a lot smaller time, but you never know. Somebody's rolling in with the double stack trailer and all the stuff, and at one point I got to bracket race JJ the Boss and all his girls that would come along with him. I never had a problem with them. It's like, yeah, they'd let me go first, but they never would turn the light on for some reason, So anyway.
I don't know what that means, Big Mike. Backswitch Dastardly is in the house. Howdy. Yeah, so Little Possum had the limited amount of cell service out there. He was streaming off the data, but we're glad he could come by. Got a little sneak preview at the track. Things are great out there. We're working on some different things at the track. And like I said, we'll talk about that the Friday before. But right now, let's talk bracket racing. How about you, T? What kind of resume do you have for winning brackets, since Andrew asked?
Well, so it was a long time ago, I think, when the magic was really happening, since I'm ancient at this time. But, kind of like Joe, I didn't do juniors. I didn't do junior street or any of that stuff. My first pass down a real drag strip, I was 18, back in the day. We'll say back in the day because I don't really want to date myself too much.
T and I are the older guys here.
We're pretty close to the same age, I think. We're
50-ish.
Yeah, less than a year apart.
I
I haven't hit that magic number yet. So
haven't either. I will next year.
yeah, well, I will in 2026. So we won't talk too much about that. But yeah, so I think the first 5-6 years that I was really heavy into it, had a lot of success. Not little possum numbers certainly, but yeah, maybe double digits, somewhere between that 10 to 15, 20 mark at best, at most, I think. So haven't been the craziest in the successful side of things, but the most important ones happened in the last, I think 3 years ago. So, and actually that was the last time I have won too. So it's been a minute. I'm a little dry as far as the wins go. So we need to get one here pretty quick.
You're saving it for Sykeston, huh?
Well, I try everywhere I go, but unfortunately, it just has not worked out yet. So it'll have to be Sykeston.
I've never won a bracket race in my life. I mean, it's fun to go down the track, but I've never won a bracket race. Won some pistol matches, won some spelling bees, but never won a bracket race. So you guys have got several up on me no matter what. Andrew Nelson says, old guys, my first passes were in the late 70s. I like it. Maxwell Dick Destry raced his dad's tow vehicle when he was 15. I could win then. That's pretty cool.
I've done all right with the tow rig once or twice way back then.
So T, 3 years later, are you going to double up? What's your game plan like? Because you know that somehow you're going to have to get around Joe to do it, no matter who else is entered in the mix. Joe is always a big thing to work around.
That is definitely a good likelihood, for sure. I think my biggest problem these days is, I don't know, I seem to lose the focus. And, if I can figure that out, maybe I'll have a shot at it.
Well, so Joe, if you got a bunch of people in here who are not gunning to take you out and you just want to say general, like what is your routine that helps make you a good bracket racer? Because, and I'll equate it to something I actually do know a little bit and have won some stuff on, like just shooting matches, right? When I tell people just little simple things I do, like, there's got to be more to it, and there really isn't. You've got to have just some things you do that just help make you consistent and help you win. Like, what would you tell people?
So I psyched out T and Blake and several others last year. We didn't make Lambert's. We went to a little Mexican place, and I had a margarita with a Corona stuck in top. And they saw me drinking that, and they said, "This dude, he's done for tomorrow."
Well, it would have worked if we bought him more.
Right. They were trying to stack dollars to see who'd buy the next deal, but no. My deal, and this kind of came from my dad, like we would always wake up that morning, say the races start at 12. We wake up at 8, get the cars out, wash the cars. And you're like, well, you're just washing the dust off these raggedy old Mopars. Why would you do that? Like, in my mind, even right now, if you go outside at 8 o'clock and you wash a vehicle, like your heart rate's up, your blood's pumping, your oxygen's up, you're breathing, you're awake. So if you're awake at 8, by noon, you're still awake. You hadn't fallen asleep yet, like Levi's backyard perform, or anything like that. So, then we go through, load the cars, do all the stuff, load the truck. And like you're changing shirts because you've been sweating. Like you had your workout that morning, and you never realize it. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, like I would try to chug 2 or 3 waters, getting from there. It was about an hour and a half to our local track. And then when I'm there, I'm like, man, I'll crack me a Red Bull, and I drink it, and I'm looking and thinking, like, what did I miss? What did I do? And check your tires and good luck. But some days it is your day. Like I won more my car rather at the time, won more races than I ever could have. Like write the number on the window, it put the number on the sheet. And all I did was put the pedal down and shift it. Like I did
that year one.
I'm telling you, like some days are your day, like, or exactly, year one.
What was that ET you ran every time? It was like, was it a 734 or 7 something?
Maybe a 23 or 34.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Like every time.
Like to just paint it on the window because it was no stopping. But in that year, it was like Andy Wood red lit. There were 2 or 3 other just red light. I'm getting practice runs here, and then it starts getting down to like, I better do this right, or it's going to be all over, you know. And other times you're on your game. Like when I raced Little Possum, if you would have asked me, I would have bet $1 million. This is my day. Like I was having 509, 504, 50 whatever lights, and I come up to him and I'm like, I'm gonna cut that head off. 496, I think, red.
Oh,
Go home, go to bed. Like I absolutely lost that one, and he earned every bit of it. So it was his day for sure.
well, T, what about you? Same question. I like Joe's ritual. I think that's really cool, and that kind of routine starts before you ever get in the car. So what is your thing that gets you focused on how you do your program?
You know, and I used to be very ritualistic about it, you know, because back in the day, it was every other weekend, you know, we were out, we were getting the car loaded, we were going to the track. I had 30 minutes away from the house. We had a beautiful quarter mile, and I missed that like nobody's business. So I'm getting out 3, 4, maybe 5 times a year. And it's just so hard to stay consistent in anything, you know. I mean, even getting the setup loaded up, you know, consistently and the same. So, you know, I think routine is a huge part of it. Doing the same thing every time, you know, and especially on track, right? I mean, do your burnout the same, stage the car the same. You know, you start throwing variables into it, and then it certainly mixes the focus up. And like I said, that's kind of where I'm fighting it these days, because I don't have consistent seat time, and so it's hard to keep that routine. So if you can keep the routine, you won't do dumb stuff like, you know, let your visor falling down on your helmet, you know, screw you up and make you take your foot off the gas for some reason, you know, stuff like that. So I say routine. I mean, routine is huge.
Yeah.
I've never met a bracket racer that did not have great stories from things like the craziest way to lose and the craziest way to win. T, what would be your craziest win or loss story out there doing bracket racing?
So I wish one of my buddies was on to tell the story, but, you know, and it goes way back to where I can't remember. I'm so old, but something happened. I think it has to do with some comedy somewhere, but somebody got me a can of soup, and I had this can of soup in my race car. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'll keep it in there. It's kind of funny. And then it got to the point where, you know, it's like, well, now this stupid thing has to stay in there until you win a race. And I said, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that'll happen next week, right?
Boom.
And
Right.
I'm sure it was most of the season later, you know, that it finally happened. And so I got to open this, you know, big can of Campbell's soup that had been bouncing around the race car for months and months, you know, and that was great. You know, it was just, I don't remember the particulars of the race, but I got to open that stupid can and finally take it out of my car. So I was pretty happy about that.
Man, I just
What
knew
about
you'd say
you,
it.
Jeff?
I was waiting on his can to explode in the desert heat out there, you know.
That'd be
thank
great. Especially with cream of mushroom.
Hopefully it wasn't that, but
I have 2, I think, at least an honorable mention. Obviously, the one, and I mean, I have acceptance is part of life. So at the No Name Nationals, the year T1, I got to lose to a Camaro that had a header, 2 headers that had 8-into-1 pipes coming sticking out of the hood. And that doesn't feel good to a Mopar guy. And it was a LS car, and it was a stick shift car. Mm-hmm. And all that happened because I had, 2 weeks before swapped my 512 in, and I'm not ready, and all the excitement's on and whatever. And I go out and race, make that first, 60 feet, and the car goes, whoop, and I try to get back in it. It's too late. So that one hits the worst, but I guess there's a best loss I've had one time. We were at Prescott. My brother Drew, which he'll be there, and my dad and I, we had that 70 Duster I told you about. So this is like probably my 3rd or 4th time actually getting to race it. I'm pulling up to make my run. We're in the burnout box and just about to start burning out, and the rain drops like it. No one, we knew there was clouds around. The rain hits, and it's like, I don't want to get out of the car because it's raining so hard I would get soaking wet. So I just set it out in the car and go to back the car up, like just about to burn out. And I hear this clunk sound. And during that clunk sound, the rain's ended. Get out and look. The front eyelet of the ladder bar, I think on the driver's side, had pulled loose from the bracket itself. So I was about to burn out and make a pass where the rear end would have came out of that car. And wow. I mean, if the rain hadn't fallen. So you tell me who's helping me out there.
The racer glad you didn't run.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one where you just snatched victory from the jaws of defeat? One that maybe you shouldn't have won and got crazy lucky?
I don't know. I'm sure that's happened, like where I don't remember what car it was or what the deal was, but I remember trying to break this guy out where I dial honestly because I'm an honest person, and I'm like, whatever it is, $6.99 on the window, I'm planning a $6.99, and I'm ahead of the dude, and something's happening, so I try to romp that throttle and do whatever, and then just stomp that brake right at the end and let them go on through, and they just barely passed me. They broke out by 4 digits. I'm like, wow, that it was so freaking close. And they had treed me. That was a problem. So I think they treed me, and I ended up passing them and was trying to dump them, and it magically happened. But it was not my turn. But I got to win. Let me say that.
Barrows says before every show they had to pause and listen to Given to Fly when they ran monster trucks all the way through. If I missed that, the show bombed and we lost money. So there was his superstition. Hammer Down drug a muffler at 115. The tracks couldn't hear it with the open headers next to them. We've seen all kinds of things get drugged down the track at No Name Nationals. All kinds of things.
Yeah. I was reminded today that some of my rear screws, like for my hillbilly bead lock, a couple of those are missing. And I'm like, where? I think last year when I raced Levi at the end, spraying nitrous, it shot a screw out of the bead and hit somebody standing around oh, come on, man. That's all fixed. If Deke's in here, everything's been fixed. They're all Loctited in now. So
I got to tell you, just Mopar Joe and T are 2 of the absolute least concerns for Deke on that day. You guys are the day off for him. It's all kinds of other stuff that he's got to get ready for. He tells me he watches some of this content, doesn't comment on any of it in their comments, but I'll talk to him every now and then, and he'll say, "Oh my gosh, did you see this video of such and such? I can't believe they're doing that." So we try to put out as many of those fires ahead of time as we can, but it's never you guys. It's just fans of watching what you do.
Mm.
But You guys have been doing this a long time, and I think you set a great example for the community because you just keep improving your programs a little at a time and doing proven things and show up with stuff that works. And that's a good way to grow and progress. And a lot of people here, I think, could learn from that. So we know what you guys have done the last few years. We've been watching you, but what do you have planned for the next few? Usually it's you have longer range goals and shorter goals. What are some of those things? I pop that up for either of y'all.
Yeah, definitely have, some improvements in my head that need to happen. There's a chassis car hanging up in the garage that I've had in a similar state for the last 2 decades that really needs to get finished. So yeah, I'd like to step my game up as far as, the chassis under me and the ETs we're putting down. I have never ran in the single digits, ET wise. I'd like to be able to do that here before too long, before I get too old. But I'd like to finish that car. That
Single
would be
digits
nice.
in the quarter.
In the quarter. Yep.
Yeah. I ended up graciously talking with a viewer and doing some horse trading. I've got an Indy built 540 that might accidentally end up in my car someday, but I'll have to be like Levi and get a parachute in. So I really hate to go through all that.
Yeah, that whole chassis search situation for me, racing NHRA tracks mostly.
Right.
But honestly, the 500 that should have been in the car should have been able to do that, but maybe next year.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this. My friends do, but when people ask me which YouTuber is the fun, it's never the ones people think I'm going to say. I always say it's Joe. Well, Joe actually makes me laugh with his sense of humor more than any other YouTuber, and that's for real. That comment about the parachute with Levi, I thought I'd never. It still cracks me up to this day. Levi said this was years ago. He said, "I just put a parachute on my car." And he's so proud. And Joe said, "Are you going to drop it out of an airplane?" Stuff like that. So I enjoy Joe's sense of humor.
Oh yeah, he's got some good ones. I mean, just on a short I posted not too far back, it was about this Grand Junction race that I ran, and basically I forgot how to drag race, and Joe's comment was, "I hope you get your groove back, your mojo or whatever, in October. It's coming soon, but
Right.
October would be good." So
I said, I really hope it comes back in October for you, man.
That's right. I love it. But I got to tell you, I really thank you guys for coming out every year and just putting on such a great show and raising the level of our game. Our Friday bracket is it's kind of like our main event, for competition at the No Name Nationals. Yeah, we have a lot of our class eliminations and stuff Saturday, but that Friday bracket, that's a big deal. That's kind of like what winds up being the show stealer every year. And last year was incredible. Joe working through that field to win last year was unreal. So I don't know how it can get any closer this year than it was last.
that was some good stuff.
What are you gonna do this year? Are you gonna do anything different this year than last? If you got the Barkley, if you've got the Bear, if you've got Little Possum, if you've got T, I mean, there's no talent. And we got a lot of other talent out there too, who just may not have gotten on people's radar. Indecisive Tim is a real threat for this bracket. There's a lot of people out there that you just never know who could jump in the mix and be a threat. You going to do anything different for 2026 for this event?
Well, I told Little Possum after we raced, I walked over and was talking whatever, and I said, "Man, you got a button on your steering wheel there? What's up with that?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, it's just for my trans brake." And I'm like, "We can have a trans brake? Dude, like sign me up." Last year, after I won, I went straight over to Cope, and I sat on the golf cart with him. I said, "Man, how much money do you need? I'll send you my valve body. Please upgrade it so I can have a trans brake. Like I'm ready to take this next step. And the AHRA classes around us call it no box. So as long as you don't have that delay box, you can run your trans brake and two-step and you're fine. And I had been racing all year long against guys that had that advantage, you know?
Yeah, you can run a brake.
You know,
it's electrical. It's not electronics.
Right.
I mean, I just think that you got to have a class for drivers. And at what point is this electronics? To me, that's just all of this stuff designed to take the driver out of it. I just know you got to draw a line somewhere, right? Now, I'm not as crazy about all this stuff as Quayne Stott was. He wouldn't even allow to have a shift light in the car, right? You could watch a tack if you wanted to, or just listen to it, or wait for valve flow or whatever. But you couldn't have a shift light. You know, no. But there does have to be a point somewhere, and the delay box to me is. The delay box is like hunting deer with landmines. It's just, to me, that's not racing. That's just me.
Yeah. I have no desire to put a box in the car for sure.
And I mean, there was a guy 2 or 3 years back that went all the way up to like runner up in one of those large the bracket races where he'd like, I think it was a Mopar even. But he was like the only full chassis car and running all these dragsters and stuff. And dude just kept on killing them, kept on, and got down to that final one and had like a, 509 light to that other guy's 505 and almost cut their head off. But it's like, you see the potential, it's there. If it's your day, like it's going to happen.
Rocky's asking if Jamie from Dead Dodge Garage is registered. I don't believe he's registered yet, but he says he's coming. So that's all I know. You should ask him that question. Joe, do you know Jamie saying anything?
I almost heard this. It's almost he might have texted me at midnight last night and said, "Hey, coming."
Okay.
So far as I know,
he says he is. He hasn't registered yet, and that's of course what we go by. But says he is. He registered last minute last time, and he probably will again this year. But so far, it sounds like he is.
It's a long way.
Manic Mechanic says that with a box, the car is basically driving itself. I hate that. I like no box because the driver's still driving the car. I feel exactly the same. If you guys, if Joe and T, if you guys were able to write the rules, what are, say, 1 or 2 things that you would change about the in general bracket racing program in general that you see everywhere you go? What would be something that you would outlaw or something you would mandate, etc.?
I feel like the easy one is no juniors on the day of full-size cars. That way you don't have to sit and wait and sweat. You're sweating in the car. You're dreading. Come on, kids, let's go. Get out of here.
Fair.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I love a good foot brake deal. I mean, yeah, the trans brake, I don't mind it because I eventually want to run one myself. I've driven trans brake cars, but I've never had one in one of my own. And so, to even it up for me, I'd probably say we got to get rid of that trans brake. That's got to go. But no, for the most part, I up to trans brake's fantastic because I think it makes things so much more consistent when you can, one, incorporate that with the two-step. And it's all about consistency. So, yeah, it's all good.
T, you run a brake?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
The trans that came in the Duster when I bought it back had a brake in it, but it never worked. I couldn't get it to work. The trans was supposedly fresh. I took it all apart. I, couldn't get the brake to work at all. So I bagged it and put a reverse manual in it and called it good. But the next one, will hopefully have a brake in it. I'm still just, heave-hoeing an ancient 8 3/4 with a 741 case in that car. So I don't know if it's quite ready for a brake in that one. But the Dart would like one. It's got a Dana in it.
Brake for nothing.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, probably not yet, but we will. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, I would probably add like, and I don't know, 3 years ago, I did a video on all the people playing random mind games and stuff. Like you get guys that take, and I mean, I guess you assume that they're veterans or whatever, but they take, 2 minutes to burn out, and then they pull up and stop, back up, and then they're dry hopping, and then they're backing up, pulling up. Like, man, we'd like burn out, pull up, and race. Like we don't, or John Force burnout through the tree, so you could run your 840 in the 8 miles. And I'm like, come on, man. Like I'm on 5-year-old slicks here. If I can win this race, I'm gonna buy some more. Like,
Right.
I like that. I agree, because that's how I've always been too. It's like I don't want to take forever. I don't want you to take forever. Let's get in. Let's get it done.
right.
So I like that. Let's go with that. Stop the games. No drama.
Right.
So you think you would outlaw that kind of stuff? So how do you do that? What rule do you make? Is it like so much time to stage? Is it an auto start based on when the starter waves them in, so that there's no time for all of that? What would you do? How would you enforce that?
I mean, it'd have to be a clock based deal. I couldn't see any other way around it. And so, I can't imagine it ever happens, but at some point the starters should have to be able to tell you to get yourself in the staging beams there.
I've heard at certain places, as soon as one driver pre-stages, like there's a counter or timer or something starts. I don't know if it's 30 seconds or what it is, but
Wow.
Yeah, there's some of that in NHRA.
I think NHRA's is like, is it 8 seconds?
It seems like 7 or 8 seconds, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's 3 bulbs. Once the third bulb, somebody's lit 2 and one guy's pre-staged. Yeah, then he needs to get in within like 7 or 8 seconds or something like that. And that's good. That helps, for sure. But I think all the games and the delays are played behind the light too. So,
yeah. And there's a guy in Arkansas that well-known bracket racer, races in many states. He will not, like a hardcore stop, he will not stage before you do. He makes the other person stage, and he's running methanol or whatever, where the car never gets hot. He'll set all day long. Like they camp out after they turn that one bulb on. You better turn the other 2 on, or he's not moving. Like somebody will have to walk up and tell him, like that's his game. And I'm like, no, I'd rather just go ahead and double up and try to chop him up. But maybe he'll be there tomorrow and I could race him. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember the staging duel. Who was it that was the NHRA starter at the time? It was why can't I think of his name? He was the dude that was after Buster Couch. He was NHRA starter
Stewart?
forever.
I'm trying to remember was it?
Yeah.
Last name Stewart?
Yes. He I remember him shutting down. Was it Warren Johnson and Scott Jeffrey on? They were having
Yeah.
He backed them up and shut them down.
That was an epic deal.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
I thought that was great. I don't get the staging. I'm fine with it. I don't take it too seriously at No Name Nationals.
Right.
I did hear of a dude who went out and ran a car that runs about 5 zeros, 5 teens in shorts and flip-flops and a t-shirt and an open face helmet. I heard about that last year, but I didn't see it, because if I'd seen it, I would have walked out on the track and shut him down and backed him out of the lights. So other than something stupid like that, y'all do whatever you want. I don't care if you want to have a 10-minute burn down out there. I'm good with it. You got your safety equipment. You got your safety equipment. There's nothing coming out from under the car. Stay out there all day.
Stay as long as my radiator will keep it cool.
That's it. It's self-limiting.
Yeah, I would brag on the track staff. I got maybe a year before last, they allowed me like when my transmission lost reverse because I was having all these problems before my cope stuff, like the trans brake button wouldn't put it in reverse for the old trans brake, and I never used it anyway. They allowed them to push me into the burnout box, do my burnout, and pull forward so I could try to run around, like to try to get that what do you call it, hard times or whatever trophy of the day. Like thrashed all day long to finally make that last pass. But
Dust Devil, as a spectator, likes the long burnouts and dry hops. He likes when the racers put on a show. Now burning someone down sucks, and no one wants to watch cars sit there. I don't know, man. I'm okay with the dueling aspect of it, the war of wills. I'm okay with that to a point. I mean, I think the longest one I ever heard of was it in Australia that some of these guys were over 4.5 minutes one time? For real.
wow.
And the starter went for that. It was over 4 minutes.
I don't have that kind of patience as a
That's
driver.
crazy.
I couldn't do that. There's just no way. It's like I'll stage first. I don't care. I'm doing this. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Levi's local track is 30 seconds to pre-stage. If 3 bulbs are lit, 7 seconds.
Yeah, that 7 sounds right for the, an auto start or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah. That sounds right. And that to me is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm no racer like you guys. I don't claim to be one or anything, but I can tell you, I have never cared about that. I do my own thing, right? I mean, I'm rolling out of the water 3 seconds, rolling in, make sure shifter's in first, pre-stage state, and just watch. I'm just doing my own thing. I'm not nearly sophisticated enough to worry about what anybody else is doing. I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse.
Well, I think you're a better racer if you don't worry too much about what's going on over there. It's like, because you see the stage beams and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to screw up my own stuff just as much as anybody else is going to beat me. So I need to be me focused on all of that.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Cause go ahead, Joe.
No, I'll say it. Like, and like if you're racing like an altered or a rail car or something, like they're going to burn out and go. They got to go past the light or do their thing. And I always try, like, I'll see the guy in front. He's spinning his hands like, come on and burn out. Like, he's ready. Is that dude ready? Because he's eating a sandwich, and I'm going to burn out and sit here and sit here and sit here. Well, let's all go together, Yeah,
and I think a lot of tracks will pay attention to that. And, the starter will, if he knows he's got a guy that's going to burn past the line that needs to or whatever, then, they're paying attention. And, hopefully they are for the most part and, everywhere. But, yeah, just play it by ear, I guess.
Yeah, you got to, and especially at No Name, like you might line up beside somebody driving an extra long Dodge van, like Tim that one year or whatever. Like he's barely burning out and he's ready. Like you kind of got to judge who your audience is or who you're up against to really know, kind of set your schedule to that, because you'll be out of luck.
Well, Dallas does a big John Force burnout sometimes, and Professor P will.
Oh,
Levi tries to do the same. He usually does a good burnout about 100 feet out.
Yeah, I think Patrick had a good one last year or year before.
Patrick says if his 408 is together, he's bringing it. So, hopefully. Who is somebody that you would like to race against at the No Name Nationals? Maybe that you never have.
Go T, you can have that.
There's Torque Racing.
There he is.
The obvious one for me is, as long as I've been, coming to this event, and I didn't make the first one, so I've missed a couple. But it's always felt like, one of these days Joe and I have to race. And I think that needs to happen, preferably in a final, but it has to happen at some point.
Right. And then we need to race again because I lost the first one and we need to try to
well, only if I'm focused.
Right. Yeah. One of these days, besides racing T, I've got to race Mark Bigfoot. Bigfoot's and Mopars, he keeps avoiding me every single year for some reason. bringing a truck or whatever, got to make that happen.
So who would be, No Name Nationals aside, who would be your dream matchups? Just anybody. And it could be somebody at your local track, somebody, anybody. Who would be your dream matchups you'd like to make a bracket match against?
Well, I think my kid would say, he's going to drill me every time he ever gets to line up against me. So I want that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, me, Riley and me, and we'll see if the kids got it.
Yeah, there's Roland. Hey, Roland.
Roland, are you coming out this year? We have a friendly grudge rematch also. You gonna come out? Joe's got 2 Friday bracket championships. You gonna try to play spoiler this year?
Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't know. I when you get in the fight. Thanks, Shane. Yeah, it would have to be somebody with some what do you call that, John? Like some unearned clout,
Yeah.
That needs like a just old raggedy purple Barracuda to scoot on by him one time. It doesn't.
Somebody who needs regulating.
If I could ever do that, that'd be great. But I don't know.
Levi's saying it's Joe's year for the 5s. I can feel it.
Now that Levi's he's hitting 550s, he wants me to go ahead. He's allowing me into the 5s, so I appreciate that.
He's allowing you in.
That's right. Yeah, come on in. I can draft him maybe.
Colleen's got a link to the first No Name Nationals roll call video right there, which was fantastic. Joe, we going to do that again? You want to ride around with me and do it again this year in the pits?
Yeah, that to me that was the best way, man. Because my first couple of years I was collecting clips from everybody. It would take me 3 weeks to get everybody. I would beg, please send me something. I'll put it in the video, and you get all kinds of stuff. And eventually I got enough to build a video. But last year's like who showed up and showed out and has a car there that can be shown and run, that's the proof.
Levi says his parachute will drag him to the 5s. He can run 5s with your parachute out behind his car. Is that what you're saying? Dust Devil says he hopes the No Name Nationals last enough for Joe to race Walter, Joe's son. You know what? I'm healthier now than I've been in years past, so maybe so. We'll see.
He's ready to race, man.
That'd be great. I'd love to see it. In my career, I'm now working with the second generation of people. I'm like, I sold your parents their first house, and now I'm working with you, right? I'm seeing that now. So it would be fantastic to see Walter enter a bracket, because we got several. I mean, he could start with, the rookie bracket class on the Saturday, beginner bracket or 6-cylinder or something like that. He could run monkey bikes and step up and get to the Friday bracket. But we'd love to see that.
Yeah.
He can run monkey bike down to, I believe, 12 years old.
I was going to say, he will definitely be over trying to raid Tony's Hot Rod and John Cope when they cook their hot dogs and stuff over here. He'll be stealing stuff off the grill from them.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I got to tell you now, I don't know if he's planning on doing it this year or not, but when Cope does the Chicago hot dogs, that is the thing. I love it.
I'll bring my ketchup along for him.
Oh. Barrow says my dream races for No Name Nationals is Hoopty Mike, Buck Does It, JB, Tony, I'm assuming Tony's Hot Rod Garage, and Stephen Holtz Just Drive It, and anyone else when I finally make it with a car. Well, I hear you. Riley is going to show you that smoke, T.
That's my sister, if anybody's wondering. So, of course, Aunt P is going to favor the nephew.
Roland says he's coming back. Well, I got to tell you, 2027 is going to be a big year. I got several things already in the hopper for 2027. Now, Bigfoot Mark is responding to this. And by the way, folks, because I'm noticing comments so completely out of order, you guys look down at the lower left of your screen. If you see, hit that live thing, because some of you guys are responding to stuff that was said 10 minutes ago, and I know you're back on your comments. At the first No Name Nationals, I had a race planned against Joe, but so did everyone else. Saturday, he came up and said, let's go, and they shut the track down.
Yeah.
It happens. Well, that's because Joe he's the one that everybody wants to dance with. So my suggestion to him is be selective. He can be.
If the Belvedere shows up, he and I have got a date at the dance too. So
that's it. You can race a street car. That's what he calls that, with the blower on it.
Rocky Meyer said, let the 440 Cushman through Tech to Race, crowd favorite. Cushman not going on the track until it can pass Tech to Race. I'll tell you that right now. It was a great display car. William had no intention of saying it was legit for the track. There's lots of reasons it shouldn't have been. He completely agreed. So nobody denied the Cushman, but he took it through Tech to see what it would need. So hopefully it will come back ready to go down the track for an exhibition pass. Tech is not exhaustive on that Cushman. He doesn't have to have a cage and all that, but you can't have zip ties chained together for a throttle cable and stuff like that. So
I took a double take at that. Was that zip ties?
Yes.
You pull the throttle.
Dust Devil Brian says, my dream race is anyone slower than me, maybe Turbo Tom in the Model T. Bars Nest says 2027, I'm bringing back a 4-speed car. Roland says, my grudge match dodged me 2 years in a row. Okay. Well, we definitely want to see Roland come back. Mm-hmm. He really, and Roland, by the way, while you're in here, it's super convenient to do so. On September 11th, that Friday, 2 weeks from tonight, I'm going to have our burnout champions. So you and William and Outfits Garage and the Dirty Hippie are all invited. We're going to have our burnout contest champions. And since nobody's ever won that 2 years in a row, there are 4 of you. There are 3 Friday bracket champions because Joe has 2 of them. So now that we have those fields fleshed out, I'm just inviting the champions back for these focused lives. But you never know. Could have somebody drop in on that. I'm telling you now. So it's coming. I'm not planning to do it over Labor Day because people with lives and stuff have other things, you know. So I worked this one out well in advance with Joe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was trying to ask, when are we doing that thing again, man? Because it was at least 5 weeks ago when I was trying to plan it out or figure it out.
And I'll go ahead and mention it now because we've been talking about this for years now. I did a biography style live with Ron Ward. I did one with Deke Denny. I want to do one with Joe because he's got a lot of interesting stuff in that. And so that's something for the off season. But be looking forward to that because I'm going to try to pin Joe down to that now that he's not, developing a whole new town. We'll have him on for that. Because it was a lot of fun with Ron Ward. I mean, it was really cool. We talked about his music and fishing and his announce career and all kinds of stuff. It was great. What he does at work and his project cars and restoration was all kinds of things you wouldn't know about Ron Ward just from hearing him at the booth at the No Name Nationals. The same thing with Deke. A lot of people know him as the tech guy, but they don't realize Deke has many, many years, just decades of racing and had a shop and built engines and transmissions and a lot. Deke did all kinds of things before he was our tech inspector. So it's that kind of thing, and we want to have that with Joe in the off season. So look for more of that. That's something I want to do more of in the wintertime. Big Mike says Ryan avoided the spanking by Big Mike 2 years ago, but it sounds like he's going to be ready this year. My viewers have commented on my videos about how cool of an announcer he is. He is fantastic. We definitely have an A-list announcer. Barsness says, I got to have some actual races this year. I made 8 passes last year, but only 1 actual race with someone next to me. Cool. Make it happen, Cap.
I'd like to see Ryan. So Ryan's got a new setup on his B body. It's a pre-70 B body. I want to see him race Jed's dad. If he brings that Hemi Charger back, I want to see that race. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Did his dad took that Charger down the track? Didn't he?
Yeah, 3 or 4 times. He had a really nice time at it. I think Anna is Jed's girlfriend or whatnot. She made a really nice video showing, all the excitement and build up for it. And I think Ryan might could edge him out this year. You never know.
Mr. Rodder Dallas is in the house. He said Ron Ward takes No Name Nationals to the next level. We have A-grade talent there at every level, I would like to think. And Ron Ward is part of that. Bigfoot Mark said I was the fastest guy from Minnesota for most of No Name Nationals last year. Pretty specific. You want to add a county to that too? Mars Nest says, I'll be waiting for you at the finish line, Big Mike. Are you going to walk up there and greet him on the return road like I do at the end of the Friday bracket? You can hang out with me.
Do I keep seeing is it a grudge match between Tanner and is it Thumper?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. I keep their videos pop up so much on my feed. I'm like, somebody's going to win it. I don't know.
Dallas puts this out here. If you're registered for the No Name Nationals, you get 10 to 15% off everything in Edelbrock's catalog at edelbrock.com. So over 20,000 part numbers, and we have our own concierge, Mr. Alex So. Mr. Rodder said, I had the fastest T-Bird at No Name Nationals. This is true. Big Mike says, it's okay, Ryan. You don't have to watch from the finish line. We have stands there. NSB Lee says, howdy, howdy.
Man, I heard they might make a return this year. Have you heard any of that, John?
All I can go by is who's registered. I think they're registered. That's all I know. Let me look, actually. I'll look right now.
I still need a
NSB is registered. They were the 8th channel registered this year, which is late for them, but they are registered.
There you go. Yeah, we
so
gotta have another
NSB
race.
Lee, you can tell us. Tanner has a full dance card for 2026. Yes, he does. Lift Turn Dodge says, I'll race any of you around the corner. You would win.
Yeah.
We're going to have at least one, maybe 2 stock cars at No Name Nationals this year because Russell, I believe, is bringing his. Russell's racing his on the round track tonight, and he might put it back in drag trim for us for 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now.
As long as all the dirt's out from under it this time.
Yeah.
We ever had the
Well, yeah, we can figure something out, though. We got a nice long straight. We can just make that turn down at the end by the burnout pit and race back up the return road and, see who gets there first.
Yep. Is Simon and Simon inspired Power Wagon. Wrong English is here. Blue Grit says that Alex So at Edelbrock's been very helpful. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. This event falls on he and his wife's anniversary weekend. He can't join us this year. We keep it off at Joe's.
Was that the first year that I?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Joe,
no
Joe
excuses.
did the work for that.
Yeah, show him that sign again, John, because I was.
Let me tell you, so for those of you who don't know, because we always get new people in here, the reason this sign is purple with the silver lettering is this is actually Joe's paint scheme right here. This is his quote. If you can read that right there, excuses are the tools of incompetence, just Mopar Joe. I love that quote. I don't remember where he said he got it, but I got it from him, so it's on my wall. It's legit.
It's not straight for me, I promise.
No, but it's a good one.
Oh yeah, but I had to get special permission to miss that anniversary to be able to get to that No Name Nationals that year. So,
and it's been kept off of that every weekend since.
If you ask really nice, you'll get to go.
Well, see, it wasn't intended to be that weekend the first year, but there was a big scheduling snafu that happened the first year. But that problem doesn't exist anymore, so we're good now.
Right.
But we had that's a whole other story. But anyway, we want to keep it within the second half of the month of September. It could be that second weekend. It could be that fourth. It could be the.
Oh,
And it looks like we lost John here. So T,
what's up,
how are
Joe?
you now?
Oh man, not too shabby. How are you?
Dude, I've been watching the weather. We've had like 105 degree heat index days, 10 or 15 in a row earlier this month. And like he's talking about, last week of September is finally going to be the cool down. I think it's going to feel like fall, where last year, you know, there's been a No Name Nationals. Like I wore a long sleeve shirt. It was chilly. The wind was blowing. And then the next year was like you want to walk around in short shorts. And
Right.
well, I mean, not me walk, you know, but ideally you would want less clothing. So I think
don't say that, Joe. Don't give these people.
Yeah. I'll leave my pink pants at home like Blake puts me in every year. But I think it'll be cooler and maybe see some better times. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. A new Skelton personal best would be nice.
Nice. So John Cope, one of his customers and people that's been on his channel is with his Hemi Dart is going, he says. So I give it a little leeway to that someone's first year. If they've been on the channel, they've been featured, they're integrated into your channel and all. I've let people work like that under the flag the first year. They got to get in the No Name 500 once they come and find out what it's all about. If you're starting from scratch, but you've been here, you've been in our chat, I'm like, hey, you already know the drill. Get your channel going. But it's pretty cool. So we got some cool things in the works. Don and Wendy says No Name Nationals is their anniversary present to each other. I think it's really cool that those guys get to make one trip of this length and they save up and make it to hang out with us. And that's really cool of them.
Yeah.
Didn't work out as good for Big Mike. Might not have worked for Joe, but he's still here. He's still got a pulse. Left turn dodges a couple times. I've raced on my wife's birthday, and it takes special permission. But it was at the Milwaukee Mile, at least one of them. Big Mike says, well, we're still married.
There you go. I met Mama Hoopty a couple times there at the Hoopty barn.
Dallas said the scheduling snafu was a mess and gave morons like Tom Muse fuel for being dumb. Yes, it did. Fortunately, the snafu and Tom Muse are both just irrelevant things that are gone now. Don says, JMJ, I'm bringing your cam this year. We're working on it. Yep, he's bringing Joe's cam, my transmission, and all kinds of good community stuff in that ride.
Mm-hmm.
Dust Devil Garage says we're looking at high to mid 70s for No Name Nationals this year. Yeah, sounds like it'll be good. About right.
That'd be nice.
In the 50s for camping. Should be good sleeping weather. Dallas says he may be bracket racing this year.
Is Plan B the Suburban he talks about?
I don't know. That Suburban could be a threat in the bracket.
I have to hold that button a little longer.
Professor P says, who wants a shot at a slant 6 stick shift motor dart? Professor P, get in the 6-cylinder bracket. Run that on Saturday.
He's about ready to.
At least not by the house. The house will not be bringing any cardboard cutouts this year. Although I can't promise Joe won't.
No.
Okay. He doesn't want it to get burned.
That's right. If John gets within arm distance of that, he'll chop it with a machete or something. So he'll go down.
Left Turn Dodges, my wife and I have never taken an out-of-state trip without any other family. No Name Nationals will be the first. Well, good. It's a good family event.
Mm-hmm.
Big Block 402, what's going on, man? He says, hope y'all are having a good night. So far, so good. Hammer Down says, I wouldn't know the first place to start a channel. Well, you already have made a channel because you're commenting here. You have one. I was going to come spectate, but they planned an outage the weekend at work. Oh, my gosh. Well, if you can make it, any part of it, you're welcome. But come on.
Yeah, I know he follows a lot of, like my channel, a lot of Mopar channels and stuff. And
I see him in your comments.
Yeah, well, he wants to be there for sure. But
yeah.
I understand. Is that Lee commenting there?
NSB is Lee, yes.
Okay. Yeah, tell him to come on. I need a new T-shirt.
Yep, come on, Lee. We'd love to have you. You and Dean coming up? I know you guys are registered. I know a lot of life happens between registration and the event, but I will tell you, I go out on a huge limb for this thing every year. And so, you guys registering early. I understand life could happen, but believe me, your losses are nowhere near as big as mine if I don't get people ready. Okay, Friday night. But you can still do bracket matches. You can still call people out. You can still do all kinds of stuff. That's right. You're leaving after burnout competition. Most of the Mopar's got the transmission back in his Duster, trying to get a friend's car back from Pensacola with a bad alternator. Dallas says he put a 0001 red on Barkley with the Suburban in 2024, ran 1,000th off. If I had that run put together, Barkley would have been going home the first round. Plan B is not the Suburban. Big block 4-2. Both Barracudas running this coming week just in time to get a little testing done. Sounds good. Barrow says the GT and Dart stands for get a turbo. Boo.
Oh.
We're caught up on comments. You guys have anything else? Anything you want to ask the chat? Anything you're planning on doing that you want to tell them about?
I don't know. I know for sure I get to test twice before Mo Party, which is the weekend before No Name. And I remember last year at Mo Party, I got to be on a quick live with you for a minute to talk up No Name, because at the time you go through all that crowd and all the stuff, and it was hot, and I'm like, I would rather be at No Name Nationals than this Mo Party right now, but I'll be there again this year. Try a little harder.
I wish I could do Mo Party. That'd be nice, but
well, they are back-to-back weekends, so
they are, right? I just have to
a little.
leave the rig somewhere and fly home and fly back, I guess. But yeah, it can't happen this year. I probably don't have any testing in between here and then anyway either. So maybe the street.
Will there still be a beginner's bracket? Yes, on the Saturday. And, one of these years, I have never been to Mo Party. And so what it would involve for me to do would be leave here. Like if I want to go to Mo Party on the Saturday, I need to leave here on the Friday, Saturday there, and then just hang out a day in right there in Middle Tennessee with my family, because Mo Party's there in Bowling Green. Hang out with my family for a day in Middle Tennessee, and then head on to Sykeston, because I get to Sykeston on Tuesday anyway. So it kind of works for me, but I got to stick with you. No Name Nationals is an entire week for me. I leave about 6 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, and I get back usually on Monday. So it's a week for me as it is. So it turns into like 10 or 11 days if I were to do Mo Party also. All right, good question from Scott. I'm going to pop this up for both of y'all. Joe can go first this time. Any advice for first-timers going down the track?
I would say, I know it's hard to hear, but don't be nervous. I mean, it's literally like you're driving down a highway, except there's no other drivers but you and maybe one other person. If you can get a pass by yourself, that's good. And leave when you see the last yellow come on. Instead, don't wait on green. Just leave on that last yellow and turn your air conditioner off. That's the other thing.
Roll your windows up, turn your air conditioner off. The quicker your car is, the quicker you'll get out of the heat.
Yeah, you won't drip water on the track.
Yes. What about you, T?
Yeah, definitely don't wait for green. But the other one, I guess, first timer, walk the track. See where everything's at. Find the stage beams, see where that's at in accordance to the burnout box. Look for the boxes down track, just so you know where your incrementals are, and that way you're not going to be that guy that rolls up to the beam and just blows through it 3 feet. So you don't want to do that. So yeah, just make some mental notes, walk the track, and see where everything's at, and you'll be great.
Yeah, and if you could have somebody ride along with you that has raced, to just be cool about it,
No,
Kinda
so
coaching.
I don't have any wisdom like these guys have, but I can tell you something that Frank Hawley told us when I got to take my licensing course. I thought was pretty good, helped me, because I don't know what I'm doing, but he said, you learn how to drive on a drag strip before you worry about racing. He said, just go through your mind each process. Take your time. He said, it might seem like an eternity getting those processes put together, but he says, when you look at it from outside, the run will look just fine. Just do each thing. Take your time. You'll get quicker at doing it as you do it, that made a lot of sense to me. And so that brought a sense of calm and a checklist to run through. And I thought that was helpful. Wendy says, don't walk on part of the track. You will lose your shoes. We've had that track dialed in. What year was it the track was so slick? Because it was the second year that we had that. It was the second year. They had a power outage that lightning struck the tree, and the timing system was down for months over there. That was prior to the current ownership. They did not have track prep for months, and it really showed at No Name Nationals. And the track was rough that year two. That was the no prep year, pretty much.
I remember.
That's where the big tire helped.
Yep, I was thinking that.
Have you ever won or runnered up in a bracket race, mostly Mopar? Have you ever won or runnered up? One-Eyed Cat says, No Name Nationals is my only drag strip. Race yourself, but invite a partner for the other lane. Okay. Our rule is for beginner brackets, you cannot have won or runnered up in a bracket race. Once you do that, you need to get in the Friday bracket the next year.
And if I lose on Friday, I'll bring my big wig for Saturday and try it then. So, wig and sunglasses.
Heavens Mopar Scott, it'll be fun learning to drive a car that's never been driven before, then 10 minutes later running it down the track. That sounds like all kinds of things could go wrong. I hope it works out. No, it's going to work out. How long has it been since your car has been driven, Scott, at all? I'm going to say yes, Levi. I'm not letting you in the beginner bracket, man. You want a bracket race on a four? It's still a bracket race. Never bracket raced, only grudge racing at testing team, but you've never run or won. Yeah, you could get in the beginner bracket. You said you've never bracket raced. Well, that's fine. I'm not talking about drag racing. You can drag race and do match races and call outs and grudge race. I don't care about any of that. Bracket racing is its own animal. So if you've never won or run it up in a bracket race, you can get in the beginner bracket. That's fine. What advice do you guys have for people who want to get into bracket racing? Maybe you don't know what it's about.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I guess if somebody wants to do it, they know about it, they want to do it, but have never tried it, it's probably best to, test and tunes, solo passes, slow cars, You know, I mean, what you're used to, and then ramp up from there might be the best advice I could give.
Yeah. I mean, I did a video 100 years ago about like the 3 things you got to have for a bracket car. And it's like,
Okay.
I can't remember all 3, but a couple of them, like have good traction, a shifter that you're comfortable with, and a nice shifting transmission that works every time, where it's not, you know, flaring into gears and slipping and doing all that stuff, you know, and being comfortable in your car, that sort of deal. But my biggest thing was when I first started, I'm like, so I was in that 70 Duster running the 7.0, 710s or whatever. And, you know, I built something out of just leftover parts. And I had so much fun running like 770s to 80s. And like I was winning races because a lot of cars were faster than me. So I'd get to leave first. And I'm like, I don't have to worry about their lights because I'm gone before their lights ever start to fall down. So you get, you know, that little bit of advantage of that you get your own personal tree for a while, and then theirs are dropping by the time you're at the 60 foot. So I don't know. Slow car might have a little advantage there.
Fair enough. So if you guys had, you know, whatever budget you needed to do it and money was not a concern, what other kind of racing might you want to do? Or would you want to do anything different? Is there any kind of heads up, anything you might be interested in, or some other discipline or kind of racing, or circle or water or truck or anything? What kind of racing would you do if you could just do it and had the funding to do it?
I mean, I'd branch out for sure. I definitely would want to do some heads up stuff. You know, I've done some index stuff that way, but I want to get serious, you know, and, you know, run some 28-10-5 stuff. Always thought I'd want to, you know, run stock eliminator. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that would take the money as no object funds for sure. But yeah, those types of things. I'm a bracket racer at heart, so stock, super stock would fit. But heads up, you know, no prep, I think, you know, could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I feel like I like the like Triple Crown idea, kind of. If they could allow like big black Mopars to slide in there, like low cubic big black Mopars. But I think like, you know, doing like a mud bog or some kind of mud race where you really get to, you can use your old school iron like we like, and whatever chassis you want. I've seen guys like have Jeeps that, you know, whoever can go furthest across this mud pit wins. And you see all these, you know, like, wow, that's a big jacked up Ford diesel truck. He makes it like 30 feet and sinks. You know, these other rigs are like blowing through their 8,000 RPM spinning and nitrous and all that. Like, okay, like I think I could get into that, you know?
I wouldn't have figured on that. That was cool. I like that.
Because I mean, you know, you're to me, I drove my blue truck a few weeks back where I got that like tall trophy or whatever, and I just made it through the 1,000 foot in that thing. And it's the center of gravity is pretty high. It's on slicks, and when you're going down the track, it feels like it's just like that old yellow car I'm talking about. Like it feels spooky. You know, it's not stable. I can get my purple car now and just point it and it goes. So I feel like I don't care about going 200 miles per hour. It's not like ingrained in me. Like, oh, I got to go faster. Like, eventually I'm going to outrun Levi, and he's going to feel sad about it. And then Shane Polito someday, maybe, if he's not looking, and I get to leave first. And you know, it is what it is. But going fast in the mud, you can't. It's hard to mess that up, I think.
I love it. If you guys ever see in the chat, sometimes we have a guy named Jeremy Finley in there. He is the son of the famous mud racer, Jeremy Finley, from my hometown of Bluefield. And he used to run, he was a champion mud racer back in the 90s. But anyway, he died a while back, but his son of the same name, Jeremy Finley Jr., sometimes in the chat here.
Nice.
Mohawk said, my first race at No Name Nationals, T was in the right lane, and I waited until the green light, and T was already halfway down the track. I didn't get upset because it was just pure fun to run down the track. When I can't, Don says, don't worry, Joe, I have a tissue ready for Levi. He'll manage. Man, Levi, getting hammered in here. Oh, you know what? It's a school night, Levi. I mean, school's already started, so you need to be getting ready. Oh, no, it's Friday. You can stay up tonight.
That's right. He might be at a homecoming dance tonight. You never know.
That's right. Now, how old were you when we first saw you in the chat here? I mean, it's probably been like 6, 7 years ago or more. So you really were a kid then, weren't you? I think the socks I'm wearing are as old as you. Levi says, I got bit by the speed bug, and my love of all things expensive is going to get me there. Someday I'll own a billet LS or big block. Yikes. Wearing a bow tie, I can see it. He does on his grip.
Yeah, bow tie underwear, probably.
I don't want to know. Rich 220 has the Rolling Stones underwear. We have seen that in the video. 26. So you were literally a teenager when we met you, right? You were probably like 19 years old or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for real.
Well, that's good. I thought my other trophy was older than Dylan, so that's good.
Big block is the correct answer, NSB says. Doesn't matter what the question is. Big block is the correct answer. I can go with that, actually. I just wish there was a big block 904 case.
Uh-huh.
All right, gentlemen, you guys got anything else? We still got a really good crowd in here. You must be good guests. They're not tapering off, flying out. It's not like church, you know, when it's starting to go into overtime, people want to get ahead of the buffet crowd.
Everybody wants to see what Mopar Joe has to say.
They do. Ooh. It's rare to get Joe in here.
Sometimes somebody told me one time that less is more, so I'm trying to learn that. I'm upgrading to a mountain motor this year, 605, with max wedge ports and all that stuff. So,
wow,
not really.
I mean, but I can see Joe doing that because he's done that progressively. That Barracuda had a 273 in it when he got it.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And there was a dude under Cope's Facebook comments the other day that said, nothing against Mopar Joe, but I wish he would put a real motor or something in front of that big SFI case. And I was
what?
Like, dang.
Wow.
What's he talking about?
Well, he wants to see like 1,000 horsepower, 1,500 or something like, you know, if I spray enough nitrous, stack plates, I can get there. So.
Lumpy here says, hello, folks. Hello, Lumpy. Indecisive Garage will be driving a bow tie this year, but blue oval's where my heart is. Indeed, Tim. Can't wait to see your future plans. RP Dynalo wants to know what the dimensions of your garage are, Joe.
Never judge a man by his garage size, but my current garage that I built a paint booth in and my engine booth in and stuff is 40 by 80, and it's just like a kind of a big pole barn thing.
I like it, man. It looks great. You've worked hard to make it happen.
Oh, man. And I've got a lot of room where I can paint a car. And recently, for my Father's Day birthday present, I got AC in the place now. So I got ducts going into the paint room and then like a big duct going out into the open space where those 105-degree days, it finally got to where it'll pull 85, 86-degree day, you know, inside. You step outside, it's 105-degree heat index. Like, I'm going back in. I don't need to ever go back outside again. It's a lot more productive.
Very nice. Very, very nice. You still do any work at the Clarendon shop?
Yep. Still, I get a day or two there every week, and try to do my dirty work there find the cooler day or a day it's going to rain, which it's really nice, like in fall and winter time. There's the old wood burning stove you can light up, and it does well. But summertime's brutal. The red wasp came out and got me the other day.
Oh,
you're gone for 2 weeks and you come back and they all remind you you've been gone.
I'm going to put this up. Dallas sent me this picture. Coles County Dragway, USA, 1993 high school champ, Dallas. There you go.
Man, that's all. He beat up another kid named Dallas and took that from him. That's awesome. That's all right.
He's lurking. Dougster just needs a modest place to keep his stuff dry, like 100 by 400 with 16-foot doors.
Like the way Dougster thinks.
A Walmart, right? I mean,
mine could fit in Joe's twice. So yeah, I feel the same way.
How many lifts do you have now, T? Is it just one?
Just the one.
Okay.
It was secondhand. It was a very, very economical option for sure.
That's 200% more than me, man.
And he even helped me put it in.
Yeah, that helps.
But yeah, watching your video today, you definitely could benefit from one.
It's on my list. I got one coming up soon, hopefully.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't sponsored you one yet.
I get these like Temu deals of like, we'll send you this offer. How much for it? I'm like, like I like Vivor stuff, but Temu is it might get a little shady.
Yeah, you don't want to be under that one.
not at the place where it snows. It snows here.
Yeah.
NSB is right. No matter how big a shop you go, it'll never be big enough. It fills up quick. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So speaking, this comment reminded me here about red wasp. I ran over a yellow jacket nest with the mower a week ago, Joe. Just you talking about, getting stung. I run over that. I take care of that. I had an idler pulley lock up on the deck of my mower. I fixed that. I had to weld the deck where it ripped the other idler pulley up out of the deck. I had a spindle pulley shear off at the splines on the mower. And then I had the rear bracket that holds the deck on rip out of the bracket, drop down, break the blade in half, threw half the blade out the side grass discharge, all on the same mower in the same week.
Man.
Wow.
So my deck is mostly weld with a little bit of yellow original material now.
That's a Mad Max deck right there.
It is, but it cuts.
Yeah.
So you guys, I don't have that problem on race cars, but I have it on my other junk. Oh, and I had a wheel bearing go out in the van on my way to see my aunt for dinner. So in my dress shirt right there in a wide spot on the side of the road, there was an O'Reilly a mile from where that bearing came apart. Got in there, had an A16 on the shelf, moved right around the corner for this big wide spot, jumped out, changed it 40 minutes later on the road, still made dinner on time. Didn't get my shirt. I was wearing a yellow dress shirt, of course.
Man.
And I had an old phone book in the back that I could get the grease off my hands with. Worked right out. So I do my share of pit thrashing too, but not for the same things you guys do.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade you for that for sure.
JMJ Wildfire is probably the best one out there for us small guys, that lift. Okay.
I see them pop up on Facebook Marketplace all the time, but I get close, like, I'll get that one. I call and it's a deal. And by the time if you buy the used one and something goes wrong, like maybe I should have got the warranty. I don't know. I picked AC this year.
Scott got screwed. They didn't like him filing an insurance claim to get the roof replaced on his house. Now they're punishing him with his cars in the yard. Hammer Down says the amount of tools he's bought between the recommendations of Joe and Dead Dodge Garage. Jamie bought a new toolbox, the ultrasonic cleaner.
Oh man, that's a game changer.
I need one of those.
I found a new rust killing, what do you want to call it, formula. If anybody needs one, and
Sure, tell us.
I saw the guy. It was a guy on Facebook. I stole it. You know, he showed his 350 Chevrolet that was locked up and whatever, just crusty, crispy. It's like molasses. So I bought it on Amazon. It's like molasses you pour out for cattle. And I think it was $12 for a gallon. And I mixed it 8-to-1 with water, straight water, mixed it up and put it in a 5-gallon bucket and dropped a couple of rusty brackets in. 3 days later, they look like brand new metal. And I've got like maybe $2 of that molasses in there right now. Like, I'm just going to keep that batch going and, you know, stir it up and drop something else in. So maybe make a video on that, but it's a lot cheaper than Evapor Rust.
Get Jason, have you put it in, save a pile of cash? Molasses will etch the metal if left unattended too long.
Yeah.
Well, so will white distilled vinegar. Yeah, if anybody wonders too, found that out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
T, did you ever figure out what you're going to do with your little tow rig that you got?
The tug?
Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually, I mean, I got to find some brakes. It doesn't have any brakes on it yet, but once I find that, then I can move a trailer or two around the backyard. That was kind of the, that was the functional reason, for having it. The other is it's the funnest thing I've ever driven in my life. It's hilarious. So
I saw the videos on that. I loved it, man.
Get yourself a tug.
Sure.
Just be careful with all these Chinese lifts. I'm careful with everything Chinese. Even lantern flies. Do you have those where you are, T, the spotted lantern fly?
Is that kind of like a lightning bug almost, or?
No, they're bigger. They're creepy looking.
I'm not so sure. It doesn't
here.
Doesn't sound familiar. Sounds kind of like a humid area type of a bug.
Evans Mopars did a dash frame video series playlist on molasses. Cool.
Nice.
My big issue is spiders.
Well, yeah, I guess you do have. You have a lot of interesting stuff out there that can kill you too in your part of the country.
Yeah, the black widows are prominent this summer. They're really bad this summer.
Just rub it in, T. I get it. Flew right out of my head. I had something I was going to ask Joe. It flew right out of my head. Levi wishes it was hot and dry in the Hoosier State. Yeah, Joe, for those who are just coming in, we got a lot of people in here, and we get kind of vats of people moving in and out. Tell them about the bounty again. Be a good time to reiterate that.
Okay, so it was 1,500 added to the pot for the bracket race. So
Wow.
whoever wins first place, 15 plus whatever the house does.
500 bracket always.
Yeah. So I mean,
So it's a $2,000 bracket purse now.
And like in Arkansas, they wouldn't guarantee 2,000 winner unless you had 30 plus cars, and $100 entry. So think about that. Like, you get free entry into this bracket race for entering the event. So anybody that's on the place that has their participation, if they want to, if they're doing burnout or whatever, go through tech and bracket race, man. It's
no reason
free.
not to.
And just please don't beat me because I told you to join. So, but the bounty deal is, so Drew and Leslie are putting up $1,000 to whoever wins bracket to race me. They want to do 2 out of 3, best 2 out of 3, to see who wins. So I don't have to, like last year, I didn't have to do the 2 out of 3 because I won the bracket against Barclay. And then we raced again, and I was able to beat Barclay the second time. So it was like, man, I'm still having PTSD about trying to fight through all the big bosses of that deal last year. But it's fun. You get better through challenges, I guess.
That's pretty awesome of your brother and sister-in-law, though. That's a pretty amazing deal.
For real.
Yeah, they enjoy the event. They want more participation in events and stuff, and it's good for everybody.
Manic Mechanic wants to know how many people still hand pack wheel bearings. I do, and I had Mexican Spec come in to tell me I was doing it wrong. I actually prefer to push the grease in through the side of the bearing until I squeeze it out through the face of the roller. So I do it backwards. But the reason I do that is because that little narrow channel makes it easier to press it in there and keep your hands clear. That's just how I do it, and it works.
Yeah, I just give me a big old goopy wad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ready.
As long as you get it all in there. Bracket, there's an idea. Yeah. He says wheel bearings are therapeutic. Yes, Eric, we see you. We got you. We got our guests here. So just anything you guys want to ask these people, it's hard for me to catch them on. It's a big ask for me to get a Friday evening of theirs, so I only ask Joe for one a year, and this is it. If consistency is key to win and consistently do poor, there's a chance you can win at consistency.
Joe already said it. He already said it earlier. Anything can happen in a bracket race.
I promise you.
Eric, we'll talk. Holler at me tomorrow. Todd in Auto Show. Yeah, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I've packed 100 bearings or more in the last 10 years. Just in the last 10 years, probably 100 bearings. And, I just press it in through the small side. I've come to like that better, I think. Either way will work. But I do it by hand. When is Joe going to Mopar? I would love to support in any way.
I'm going to try to get there on Thursday because last year we got there like Friday afternoon, and they said, "Oh yeah, you missed your first qualifying pass Friday morning. Sorry, you get one." I think on Saturday morning, and we got there late Saturday morning. Like we stayed close at Airbnb and got there 5 minutes after they were running them. So then I missed another one, and I only got one, and I'm like, we drove like 6 hours to make one pass and then get beat by a teenager that happened to be a female as well. That burns double for a guy, but it happens. Anything can happen in a bracket race. So this year I'm getting there plenty early.
I know that Andy Wood and Micah Monteleone were at Unity Motorsports Garage. They went out to War in the Woods last year and had a less than stellar outing, and will be looking forward to coming to No Name Nationals this year. And they're bringing Clark the wagon, the mod motor wagon.
I heard that. Yeah, that's going to be a beast.
Yep, going to be good stuff.
Maybe I'll let Andy bracket race it.
The grease coming out either side works just fine, I promise. Granddad's Junk says, good day, Joe. Well, good time tea, too. Clark, yes. Go check it out on Andy's channel. What's anyone's favorite mufflers with factory exhaust manifolds? Well, there's an odd question. I don't really know. You guys have any favorites?
I got some Flowmasters on my Charger that have been there since the manifold days, and they're still there now with the headers, and they sounded great both ways. Can't remember which part number it was, but I think it was a 3-chamber Flowmaster. They're 30 years old if they're one.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever sound you want, but I like the Flowmaster FX mufflers. I got some on my on the blue truck and my purple car now. You can see straight through them. They're kind of like a resonator, but they're 3-inch and they're stainless body, and they're like $50 a piece.
And I mean, what brand is that?
Flowmaster.
Flowmaster,
but they're FX, so it has fiberglass packing in a perforated tube, and the tube is not scalloped like an old glass pack. It's perforated with holes.
I like it.
It's nice. It can give anything a little rumble.
I like it. Okay.
Cheap date.
What kind of content do you guys have coming up on your channel soon, T? What do you have going on your channel?
Obviously the race stuff, but I guess the motorhome's coming back. The motorhome, not a motorhome, is coming back for an episode soon. And then hopefully more aircraft tug stuff. I'm really looking forward to doing something with that. But the Charger has sat too long. I need to prioritize that thing and get it back on the road again. It needs to drive.
I like it.
I follow along on T's pretty hardcore. I don't always comment, but I'm the number one thumb that clicks in every time I can.
I appreciate it.
Man, it's easy to watch, and there's always something like, this is stuff I do. Like, there's no drama, there's no fake stuff, there's no sparkulators and all that crap. It's like,
oh, I hate that.
This is life, you know.
Thank you for not doing that.
Yeah, I just try to be me and, have fun with what I have, and hopefully other people like it too.
Yeah. The problem with me being me is that people don't like it. I mean, it is what it is. If anybody told me they didn't like T or Joe, there's something highly suspect with that person. For real.
Oh man, well, I appreciate you guys. I mean, I love this group, and it's great to hear, fun stuff like this, and it's always nice to hear nice things.
Yeah, man. Can I go all the way back to when I heard of T's channel from Ruben at Muscle City Madness? He said, "This dude, yeah, he's hit the message in the group was, this dude can teach Mopar Joe how to bracket race." And I was like, who is this dude? And then I saw videos and like, man, he's kind of legit.
Oh man. And that's funny, because I think he probably, saw I won a no prep index race. I think it was the same year of the No Name 23 that I won. And so, yeah, I lucked out and won that thing, and, he loved it. But he's a fun guy. He's a good guy like that. He, says the best out of everybody, and, it's all fun stuff. So, and I remember that now that you say that, but it feels like forever ago.
Yeah. Yeah. This dude could teach Mopar Joe how to bracket race or something like that. What?
I found T in a completely different way. I was browsing videos and saw a guy rebuilding a torque flight. And I said, well, this looks cool. And then I remember his commentary on the test drive. He says, well, it's doing transmission things. I guess it's okay. And he's cruising around a church parking lot with it. I said, this guy's all right.
Yeah.
I still chuckle at that every time, John. I love that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just this is a really down-to-earth guy. You can't fake being that cool and mellow, and he's exactly like that in person.
Yeah.
And that's something in general with the folks in this community. I have found that when you meet them, you know, they really are the great down to earth people in their videos. The kind of people who don't wind up making it to Sykeston. They kind of self-select themselves for removal from the community. And the people you meet there really are the cool people you meet in their videos.
Well, I don't think I've got anything to teach Mopar Joe on the track, but maybe we'll have a little luck against him one of these days. So,
dude, I'm down for lessons any day, and I promise they're coming. So it's going to happen.
We're going to let NSB Lee have the comment of the night. He says this community is the best of the best. Guys, we're at our time. Thank you so much for being on here. I'll get a couple quick plugs in. If you have not yet registered for the 5th annual AHRA No Name Nationals, you have 26 days, 1 hour, 57 minutes. So I really don't know what you're waiting for. Go ahead and do it, nonamenationals.com. I'm going to say that 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to have our burnout champions on. So the invite has gone out to all of them, William, Roland, Russell, and Jeremy, whomever can make it, we're going to have them on. We're going to be talking about all things in the burnout pit. We're going to be having some other theme lives on the way to the No Name Nationals. Also, don't forget when you register, you get 10 to 15% off everything on edelbrock.com, which is their digital catalog. And we have our own concierge, Mr. Alex Sutton. Don't forget to catch Tech Talk Live on Wednesday nights on the Slant Daily Garage channel with Professor P and our own Mr. Rodder Dallas. What's T's channel? T's Good Time Garage. T's Good Time Garage. Can't miss him. And, of course, just Mopar Joe. And Hammer Down says, thank you guys for everything you do. Yes, these guys, they are our warriors. So if you know the old expression about the 80s, 10s, 9s, and 1s, these guys are the 9s who make the battle. But with that, you guys have a great weekend. We're going to shut down. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you all again next Friday for a live here. I might be popping up some other stuff throughout the week, just random stuff. But we'll be back here Friday night, a week from tonight, the Labor Day weekend. Y'all have a great weekend and take care.
See you guys.
See y'all in Sykeston.